Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Tuesday night, 9 o'clock on the dot, 9:01 to be exact. Shout out to Memphis. And we would like to welcome you to Nightcap Knowledge, hosted by Mac Epps, Tanya Boyd Cannon, and yours truly, George Chuck Patterson. Yes, there are three of us, George Sr., George Jr., George III. Shout out to Jack, Shallon, and all of the kiddos that are in bed, because at this point, you should have put your kids to bed. It's time to get that nightcap, time to tune in, tap in, check in. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an awesome show tonight, music and the mind. We got Nigel Hall, Assata, Renay, and a surprise guest, my man Andrew from Stooges Music Group. So make sure you tune in, tap in, check in, share this with somebody right now. This is Nightcap Knowledge. You put some on your head before you go to bed. But before we do all of that, we gotta shout out our supporters and sponsors. Tanya's still celebrating her birthday, so happy birthday to Tanya Boyd Cannon. Can't say it enough. Happy birthday. And we gotta give a shout out to Hemp World. No medical card needed. No medical card needed. It's Mississippi's first therapeutic hemp CBD relaxation lounge, CBD massage therapy, infused drinks right there in Jacktown. 4270 Robinson Street, Jackson, Mississippi, Tuesday to Sunday, 10 to 7. And man, I want to tell you this event right here, woo, y'all should have been there. If you weren't there, you missed out, but we'll tell you about it. One time for the Mississippi School of Health Services and Careers. Begin your career in healthcare today. You can check them out, mshscschool.com, 769-572-7490. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to put some on your head before you go to bed. It's Nightcap Knowledge. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's happening, peoples?
Music in the mind, music in the mind. Yeah, what's up?
Chilling, chilling, chilling like a villain.
What's the deal, Pickle?
It's our mental health forum, guys. Third. Wow, this is the third Tuesday.
Is it?
It is, huh?
I think. Man, look, don't ask me no
Yeah,
questions about what
bruh.
day it is.
Bruh. We're blazing through this Leo season. It's also the new Leo moon that is taking place tonight, I think. That we're going through, and we're gonna be in that process for a minute. Yeah.
Hey, shout out to my shirt. Montgomery, Alabama,
In
2023.
fact, it occurs at 5:38 tomorrow. And It's going
5:38 tomorrow.
it's going to be the biggest and fiercest roller coaster ride delivered to us by the cosmos. So, living your truth, go ahead on and set your affirmations and intentions because at 5:38 tomorrow, guess who's going to be sitting there already affirming everything. This one right here.
So 5:38 tomorrow, we need to have all of our new affirmations, consistent affirmations, and everything we want in place,
Yep.
in head, on paper. What we doing?
Put it on your paper, put it coming out your mouth. Make sure it stay on your mind. Make sure it's
Mhm.
in your heart, and make sure you just live it because we're in a new moon. What's up? Oh, we got some people in the comment section already.
Already.
That's what I'm talking about. And look, Alina, she said I shake because she's already. I saw you, Alina, being relaxing on the porch and stuff. Yeah, I just did some cleansing. Everything happens for a reason, man. Look, this new Leo moon is coming, so set your intentions boldly.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, look, with that being said, let's jump into the mental health minute. And Mac, won't you go ahead and give us our disclaimer, and then we will get the
That's
show
Fam
on the
Bam.
road.
Fam Bam Shay in the comments.
Hey, hey, hey! Look, this show right here is rated black and uncensored, real talk, real issues, real solutions, and we're gonna tell it like it ti is. Make sure you pull up, get you a drink. We got a shirt coming soon. They're gonna say, "Pull up and pull up, pull up, pull up." What that is?
Pull
That's a
up,
copper. That's
pull
a
up.
Oh
copper
hell!
23 rum, dark rum, baby.
I love
Watch,
her.
Because my
watch
Halo
this.
rum, I'm waiting for my Halo. It's coming. It's coming.
Watch this, Chuck. Watch this, Chuck. Oldie but goodie.
How I knew you were twirling that out. Walmart got the gallon for $40.
What?
Walmart got the gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need
you
about
know,
two or three of those.
she
Run
over
me,
there.
run me that Zelle or Venmo or Cash App, and I will get you some bottles.
We need about two or three of those.
Yeah.
But listen, our mental health minute. We talk about, we always talk about energy. We talk about space. We talk about mental health. We want to talk about transferring of negative energy. This happens to just about everyone at some point in time, but it's very, very important to understand the importance of not to transfer negative energy. And this can help destroy relationships. And it also changes different things between you and other folks because of how you handle things in your life. So someone is upset at you, and then you turn around and transfer that negative energy onto whoever's in front of you, even though that person didn't deserve it or that person didn't bring it. You transfer negative energy. So always be cautious about transferring negative energy. Find therapeutic ways to help release negative energy. One of the things is try not to be around people that have that toxicity. If you're around them constantly, try to figure out a way not to be in that mist, but also try to find ways to do a drain off, deep cleansing, meditation, whatever you got to do to be able to handle that negative energy in a good way, and release it without impacting relationships with others. So that's my mental health minute.
Mr. Mac, we appreciate that mental health minute, and let's get into the music and entertainment check in with Tanya Boyd Cannon.
What's up, everybody? Listen, I am so excited about tonight's show, being our mental health forum uh, series that we've been doing, just making sure we check in and with our mental and make sure that we could be even more productive as humans, right? And so much has been happening in the music industry. So many different lawsuits. If not a lawsuit, someone's going to jail. It's like all kind of negative things. But I want to shine light on the positive. And shout out to my girls, SWV, man. They are doing the damn thing. It took not just a television show that helped to pivot them to where they are even now today, but so much of that music has been sampled over the years that people have been listening. We've been singing it since I know I was in either elementary or no middle school when I've been singing songs by SWV in high school, baby. I would sing weak, right, when my parents weren't around.
Mm.
I don't know what it is that you done to me. But it's like what my dad would say, what's your angle? Like my dad would ask those questions, right? And so I said that to say, think about the songs that we're singing. Think about
Hmm.
how they penetrate your mind, hearts, and spirit.
Yeah.
Celebrate song because everyone has a song that they love to sing, no matter what genre, no matter what artist. Celebrate music. Music is life, you know?
Yeah. Heck yeah. Look. And you speak of SWV and the music that we sing and we find on our hearts and in our mind. Um, we did the R&B ribs and rose this past weekend, and I'm gonna tell you this. Um, if I do say so,
Uh-huh.
if I do say so myself, I think I showed my tail a little bit, and
Okay, okay,
it was hot. It was
okay.
hot. I mean, I ain't talking about like my set was hot because I
Yeah.
I went from like the K Tronada, Tidra Moser,
Teacher Moses.
yeah, Tidra
Uh-huh.
Moser, and I played a lot of that stuff, man, and we were definitely in the groove. And then
Uh-huh.
we did a Whitney Houston set. We had
Uh-huh.
some of our littlest Whitney Houston fans, and man, they really really cut up.
Littlest.
Littlest. I mean, these young ladies had to be no older than 8.
Well, you know it's amazing. One of our guests tonight is playing the role of Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard, the musical here in New Orleans. And so, so for you,
Really?
so for you to say that, I was gonna let her announce it. She'll talk about it even more. But it's
That's
amazing
dope,
how
man.
that connection. Yeah, listen, it's so divine, man. It's
That is
divine.
dope. That is
Yeah,
dope, man.
yeah.
So look, we did a lot of things in between our Saturday activities in Hattiesburg. We came back to the coast. We were here for the Congressional Black Caucus Institute. We did some podcast interviews. So be on the lookout for all of these new and exciting things, and also the next iteration for all of the events that we have coming up on the coast in Jackson, and especially, man, we got to get ready for October.
So all I'm gonna tell you is this.
You better
Spring
tell me something.
2024,
You better tell
y'all need to be ready. I can't reveal. Listen, October this year, spring 2024 next year. So many things are happening, but I just need you to get your vinyls, dust your vinyls off, find a vinyl player. Cause
just,
yeah,
just
listen, I need you to go there. This
don't
this
test
this
me.
I've been creating this vision of an event in my
Mhm.
mind and on my porch since COVID.
Okay, so
And we're bringing it to fruition. And so it's gonna be a nice spread
I need me
of
some
an
new
event.
turntables. I don't just want to bring out, like my just the little regular little. I want them new joints that they just came out with. They cost about $2,000.
Wait, what's $2,000?
Oh, it's some new record. It's like some 12-inch. They
I
battle.
mean, hey, listen,
That's what I'm
and,
gonna be
and
meditating on at 5:38 tomorrow.
hey, I shade. Listen, endorsements are real, yay.
Oh my bad. I mean, I hit it early. I
Listen,
hit it
listen,
early. I
listen,
hit it
listen,
early. I'm going to
listen.
where the money resides. Let's
Listen, already look, the endorsements are real, my brother. So
hey.
go ahead on and get your team to draw your letters up so
Yeah.
these people can be donating to you. Because listen, the thing is this: there's power in words,
Yes, ma'am.
there's power in social media, and there's power in believing in yourself. If I'm my biggest fan. That's the only way other people. When I wrote the song "No Approve," I wrote that for myself. You got to be your biggest fan and celebrate on your own. When I
Yeah.
celebrate me, others can celebrate me, right? So be your biggest fan. Go ahead on and write the letter. Tell these people, I think you need Miles Davis. Listen, Miles Davis,
What my
Coltrane.
what?
These artists were so bold to tell people, you need me on your show.
You
You
damn
need
right.
me at your festival. Your product needs to be in my hands for free.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna help you draw the revenue for your product. Just give it
Come
to
on.
me and watch. So I,
Yeah.
I feel like we're saying it, and they were never saying you need me out of arrogance, but they were saying that with the confidence and knowing who they were. And look where
Yes.
they are. Look where they are still today
Right.
because they passed on in human form, but their spirits are resonating throughout the world in music.
That's
So
right.
yeah, manifest that thing. And I'm big about that.
Hey,
I love endorsements.
I love endorsements as well. And speaking of
I
endorsements,
love endorsements.
we still endorsing the activity of last week and the weeks before with our brothers and sisters sticking up for each other. So let's keep our energies of community and camaraderie
Yes,
and defending ourselves going. So shout out to all the brothers and sisters in Montgomery.
I
And with that
say.
being said, we got our people coming in
Listen, we're gonna go ahead and,
on your boy Cannon side of town.
man, look, all my peoples, listen. I'm excited about. I don't know about y'all. Today was daying. I'm gonna tell y'all now.
Your day like a
Today was daying. From the time I got up and I just said my prayers, I was emotional. I didn't cry. I don't know how many times today. But when I tell you, out of every tear came so much joy and more fire to keep going, right?
yeah.
And more fire and rigor to just keep pushing forward and trusting God. The text messages, the phone calls, the laughter, it's just been a beautiful time. And so I feel that what has been in my playlist, because we talked about that last week. um what's up, Jamila, Alina, Sam, Bam, all our people in the comment section. That's what I'm talking about. Come on in. Make sure y'all are sharing on your social media platform. Share with your family and friends. Tell your people to share tonight's show as well, so we can keep this thing going. So, I have a question before we bring our guests in, and guests are they're backstage now. So y'all be ready to answer this question too when you get in here.
What's up?
What is on your playlist? Number one,
I like those questions.
right? And then what is playing right now?
Like the last thing that I played.
Yep. Give me nope, nope. Give me three
No.
songs off your playlist and tell me
Okay.
what's playing right now. So if like I get in my truck, my song immediately comes on.
Okay.
So what's playing right now? So
So
three. Mhm.
the last all right things that I added to my playlist today. One was These Four Walls by Kamari.
Okay.
And the last song that was playing in the truck is also by Kamari. It's called Tell Me.
Okay.
But my playlist that I've been rolling with for the past month, it's been my summer 23 playlist, and it's been the set that I've been practicing from the Summer Breeze event that I did in Jackson, and I
Uh-huh.
played some of those same tracks. So I did a lot of like Freddie Jackson, Regina Bell.
Okay.
I blended the Regina Bell "Baby Come to Me" with the
Uh,
Dear Silas. So Dear Silas sampled
uh-huh.
Bell's "Baby Come to Me." So
Yep.
that's a lot of that.
That's
I
fire.
post that. Yeah.
That's fire. And Jay Norris said he has Killer Mike in heavy rotation. So all of our fans that are tuning in, drop in the comment section what's in your playlist. One of, I guess, one album or a couple of artists, and then what song is playing right now. What you got, Matt?
He ain't got no
So
microphone.
when I'm at the store, the radio stays on Kixie. So
Kixie
Kixie got
Windows
he got a
living.
different groove, right? I was listening to 90.1, I mean 99.1, but it kept going out. So I switched to Kixie.
That's unusual.
99.1. Be there.
Oh, 99.1. I thought you
Not
said
90.1. Yeah,
okay.
my bad. Yeah, I want to make sure I clarify. uh, but my what's in my playlist in my truck, I still ride with CDs. So I got UGK, right? I'm rolling UGK. That's what I
Ooh.
got. I got that's what I got. I got diamond up against that wood. I got one of my favorite songs on that thing is got
Still Pimp
it
C,
got
bitch. So what the fuck?
hey, you got Bobby, you
Oh,
got Bobby, you got Whitney, and you got what? And so
okay.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Listen.
yeah. So I got that, and then you got Let Me See It. Yeah, yeah. That's what I ride to UGK. That's what I
Mhm.
got in the truck right now. When I pull off, that's
Let me
that's what it's playing.
see it being open.
All
Let me
right.
see.
So I'm,
Sorry.
I'm gonna hurry up and give mine because I know we're our guests are waiting. So
Oh
I
yeah.
have
Come
two in the living room. I have a volume one in the living room and volume two in the living room. Those
on. Okay.
playlists stay on rotation. But right now in my truck, soon as you get in, or if you plug my phone, connect to Bluetooth, you're gonna get Roy Hargrove's Star Maker. That
Okay.
song has been it's yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. It's a whole frequency thing to where my mindset is like, man, Roy Hargrove, rest in power. I'm learning so much through this man. So yeah. So, with that being said, that stays on my mind. And tonight's show is music on my mind. We have two of our guests waiting, or all three of our guests are we gonna go ahead on and bring them in? She is playing Rachel from Whitney Houston's The Bodyguard, the musical here in New Orleans. Also, American Idol's top 40 finalists coming to the stage. Y'all make some noise for Assata Renay. Hi. He has produced, I don't know how many albums. I know he's produced two of my albums, always producing singles. Been working with this brother for over 20 years. That's my husband's best friend, my children's uncle, my first boo, coming up to the stage. Y'all make some noise for Andrew Bayham, the Fessa. This brother
What's
is
happening?
this brother is an award-winning musician. Listen, I heard him for the first time at Blue Now. I thought Donny Hathaway was in the room. Then he's on the organ playing and singing and going to town. Not only has he inspired me, but motivated me in so many ways. Coming to the stage, y'all make some noise for Nigel Hall.
Yeah.
Brother Willie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's happening,
Look,
Fast? What's up? How y'all doing?
good. Maya said that's my good husband. I can hear her say, yeah, that's my good husband. Drew, look,
Of course, of course.
I love when your spouse is support, but like that's my good husband, that's my good wife. What's up, Marcus? So tonight's music in the minds. Andrew, Assata, Nigel, meet DJ George Chuck, Mr. Mac of
I got
the Nightcap Knowledge podcast. We're on episode one something 50
this 152 right
152.
here. Yeah.
And so each third Tuesday, we've been doing this mental health forum, started this summer, and we wanted to really focus on. Wait, Jamila says she has the sweetest
Okay.
thing, PJ Morgan's version, K Town Funk, All Right by Flower Child,
Okay.
Chicago Bay. What's amazing is Flower Child is also DJ Flower Child is Assata Renee's DJ name. See how
Yeah.
these things are connecting, right?
I
It's
saw it
amazing.
too. I got some
Yeah.
questions about that too.
So we've been talking about music in the minds, and I definitely want to make sure we help all of our listeners. Y'all make sure y'all share this podcast. We're talking about music, creating while still healing. Come on, Gregory Porter. That's why I
There we
like you.
go.
Could
Okay.
listen. Mm, mm.
Keep going. Keep going. Stay focused.
Okay. I'm sorry.
God,
Everything you
no.
touch is gold. Okay, I had a moment. Anywho, but yeah. So when we're talking, when we're talking about healing, we're talking about creating. Um, First of all, we'll start with whoever want to go first. Introduce yourself. Tell us. Go ahead and tell us your social media handles while you're doing your introductions, and then also your first question is going to be how long have you been in the industry? And I'm gonna mute my mic.
All right, Nigel. You up there in the corner, man. Come on. Unmute yourself.
Okay, so it's me.
Yeah.
I'm Nigel Hall. My social media is the Nigel Hall on Instagram. And what was the question?
How long have you been in the industry?
How long have I been in the industry? Man, I've been around professionally at this level, I say since about 2005. So yeah, about 2005. And a lot that's happened since
Listen, I know, and
a
I
lot
love
has
that shirt.
happened and a lot has changed. Oh, thank you. Oh,
I love that shirt.
this is my shit.
You
This is
can
like
win.
that's
So
right.
can't get in.
I really
All
like
right.
the play version though too. The play version is kind of low key on some other shit for me. But anyway,
I love it. I
uh,
love it.
so
All
yeah,
right.
so I'm a keyboard player of Lettuce and a bunch of other people too. John Cleary, I have my own band when I feel like it. Um,
That
And we're gonna talk about
you
that too.
That's
Yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah.
yeah.
boy
All
said
right.
when you feel like it.
I'm serious when I feel like it because here's the thing is it is very difficult to do. And at one point in my life, I thought that I could do it. And at one point in my life, I probably could do it, but there were some other things that I was not being conscious of
Mm.
Mm.
during that time. And we all grow up. We all
Yeah.
young at one point. We all do stupid shit. We all have an area. I can cuss, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hold,
We
Oh
hold
all
up,
yeah.
hold up,
we
hold up,
all
Hold on,
do
hold up, hold up, hold up, hold
hold
up.
up, hold up.
uh,
You ready for it? You ready for it?
yes, I'm with my people right now. I
Come
like
on.
this. Um um okay, and again, and amen again. Um we all do, we all grow,
Hmm.
and we all take a different path in that growth. And it's very difficult to do. And as fun as it is, it's hard to get people to uh love your music the way you do.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And it's hard to trust when you really work hard on material that means something to you, that you want to play for people, and you really, really want to play it. It's hard sometimes for me. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but for me, it's hard to put that music in just any old body's hands and expect them and trust them to play it the way I want it to be played. And because I'm a Virgo, I like to have shit perfect. It's got to be fucking perfect. And if it ain't
Yeah.
right,
If
then
it
I'm
ain't
gonna have to find
right,
somebody else to do it.
God,
You know,
dog.
and I
See.
don't mean no harm, but
Lord,
it's hard for me. It's hard for me to trust people, even if I know them forever and know that they can play it. It's hard for me to do that. So because I want to feel like I feel when I wrote it. I want to feel like I felt when I recorded
Mm.
it. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
because that's the only real way to convey that to the
Your
listener.
audience.
You know,
Yeah.
that you to your audience. And that's when the new thing, the thing that's when God can move, then because then you now can put the listener where you were, which is what
Hmm.
you want, and you can make something new, and something can grow from that.
Yeah.
you know so but it's real hard to do. I'd rather just be where they tell me to be for the plane. That's where I'm at. Hey, what time the plane take off? All right, I'll be here.
I'll be
You
there.
know, yeah. When I get there, what's the set list? Word. All right, let's play.
Bet, let's
You know,
go.
I'll go home. I ain't got no time for all that shit.
All right, all right. Sada, Drew, who want to go next?
I'll go. So I'm also a Virgo, Nigel. So I totally
I
get
know.
a lot of
Right.
stuff you're saying.
When's your
It's like
birthday?
I'm August 26th.
She's
August
be
26th.
claiming some Leo energy. All right.
I mean, my
Hey,
moon sign is in Leo, so I do have some Leo in there too. But I definitely
okay.
understand when you
All right.
said when
Uh-huh.
I feel like it. It's like if I don't feel like it, I'm not doing it. That's just how it is. But my name is Assata Renay. I have been in the industry since whew, 2009 is when I first started doing like open mics. I went to the University of New Orleans and I was like really, really introverted in high school. So nobody really knew I could sing. I kind of just kept it to myself for a very long time. And yeah, when I got to UNO, I started meeting people and kind of coming out of my shell, and I was invited to perform at an open mic. And
Mm.
from that open mic, there was other open mics, and then it was like my own showcase at the time it was Vaso on Frenchman. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
what it's called now, but I started doing showcases and stuff there, and just started connecting the dots and meeting more people. And fast forward to now 2023. I'm still here expanding my horizons.
That's what's
Awesome.
up.
That's what I'm talking about. Drew.
Come on, Drew. Where
Oh
you at?
wait, you want to show something, Chuck, before I saw you pull up a screen.
Oh no, no, no. I was trying to adjust the layout, make sure that we could get a nice highlight action going. But no,
All
I'm
right,
good. I'm good. Let's get Drew over here.
let's go, Drew.
All right, can y'all hear me?
It's going. It's kind of fuzzy wuzzy. If
Going.
fuzzy wuzzy
Uh
was a
oh.
bear.
Right. All right, let me try the other one. One, two. All
Yeah,
right.
we can hear
Any
you.
better?
Good enough.
Any better? All right, cool. My name is Andrew Bayham. I'm referred to by a couple of different names, which I will not say at this time. Um, I'm a artist, producer, and I play trumpet, and that's mainly for the most part. I got into the music, the business, when I was really, really young. Uh, I went to New Orleans Center for Creative Arts, and so which opened up the world of music because we had a lot of good, notable people to look up to, and that's where the beginning from. Um, I didn't learn about the business until I started to cut my teeth with the original Stooges brass band, original member, and so is John, and so we cut our teeth, playing for people who who didn't want to hear anything else but to play what we play for them. Which gave me the opportunity to learn the hard way, or the way that I think that everybody should learn about the business and what it takes to deal with people, what it takes to learn the craft, um, and of course I got a bunch of other stuff. When I'm not doing stuff with my band, this way, all right, there you go, 4 a.m. Which shameless plug, new single is out. It's called "Let 'Em Smell the Roses." Just came out not too long ago, so go cop that. However you do it, maybe you stream it. All right, enough of that. And so when I'm not doing stuff with my band, I'm playing with Big Sounds Funky Nation, uh, Delphia Marsalis and the Uptown Jazz Orchestra, Gerald French, and Tuxedo uh, Band, and a myriad of others. But that's me in a nutshell.
Awesome, awesome. It's amazing. Chuck, Mac, do y'all have any questions before I jump into some of the questions?
I just want to say big shout out to the Virgos, September
I knew
9th.
that was coming.
Hey,
It's all about the cancer, Shawty.
Oh, I'm gonna do that anyway. I'm gonna do that anyway because that's how I am. Hello, motherfucker.
Go and get a little Virgo. Out. Come on. What else y'all got to say, man? Come on. Like,
I
Listen,
want to be on this show every week.
yes.
hey, hold on. Hey,
Let
hold on,
me
hold on, hold on.
in. I'm saying, let me in here. Let me in. Put me in, Ghost. Goddamn. Yeah, no. I'm going to get up in your ass.
Hey, all right. All right.
I mean, I think, and this is the reason for the topic of music in the mind, because we are always, and Nigel, you talked about it, Drew, you talked about it. It's oftentimes you find musicians who have their own, um, what's the word I want to use? Their own incubator of music and sound, right? But oftentimes you find them having to play with different musicians, right? To not only it helps with the revenue, but you don't want to deal with the frustration of keeping up with a band and managing a band. One of my musicians, Caleb, who's been with me the longest, Caleb is from the group Freedom that we all grew up hearing, groove and groove and groove into the pocket beat. So he
Yeah.
was the co-writer of that song. They were at Jackson State when he wrote that song. In fact, no, they were in high school in Jackson between Lanier Provine, Jim Hill, all of these high schools in Jackson, right? And Caleb has been with me for about 15 years playing guitar. Caleb told me about 5 years ago, he said, Tanya, I'm going to tell you, shout out to Jackson, Mississippi, the
One time
roots.
for the Jack time. Let's go.
He said, the hardest thing to do is to keep a band together. That stayed with me for the longest, because you're talking about someone who's been in the industry for at least the minimum about 40 years, who's been signed to labels, Malico Records, Capitol Records, who's had music stolen from them, who's had music um, used, has booked them, weren't paid, has had their music sampled that they have to put out lawsuits to get paid, right? All of these things we hear about, what we go through as musicians. And one of my questions is, what was one of the hardest times in your career that made you say, I got to get my shit together? I got to get on top of my business. I got to get my health together. I got to get my mind right. What was that moment? And any one of you all can start and answer.
Okay, I'll start. That moment came when I've had a couple of different moments in that situation. Whereas that, you know, one of those moments was like when we first started the Stooges band, and we were gigging on a regular basis, and we had I remember this one distinctive night. Now, for a lot of people who don't know, you know, like brass bands, mainly we can do almost 10 gigs on a Saturday night, you know, because there's parties, weddings, parties, all that type of stuff. And so this was like real young. And so we were taking gigs from another band. And it was almost as if like clockwork. Every gig that we went to, we got into it with whoever was supposed to be paying us, because we were like, we wanted this much. And they were like, no, that band charged me this much. And we had to come to Jesus moment. It was like, okay, do we want to be doing this, you know, making $20 a gig for the rest of our lives? You know, and you know, we all kind of looked at each other and it was just kind of like, no, you know, but one person was like, well, you know, how are we gonna do this better? You know, we can't compete with this band who's got all the gigs and da, 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 da. And so it just got to that moment where we was like, okay, well, that means that we just gonna have to find a way to be better and bigger and more more desired than the other band. And so that was the moment where it's kind of like, all right, we have to get our shit together. So
Get your shit together. I love it. I love it. Who's next?
I can go. And just like Andrew said, it's been a lot, probably more than I could think of off the top of my head. But the most recent come to Jesus moment that I've had with myself was, can I be really transparent here?
Listen, this is the truth safe space. Even everyone in our comment section, they know you can cuss, you can fuss, and we just gonna
Right.
let you, and we just gonna do a
Whatever you need to
nightcap.
do.
Yeah,
Okay,
safe
well,
space.
the biggest one would probably be working with certain bands where I wasn't the lead. I was just kind of like an asset, you know, a singer, and feeling like I wasn't really being properly valued. People being condescending toward me as if I wasn't someone that was actually bringing something to the table. And I had to come to the realization that I was spending more time pouring into someone else's dream and vision than my own. And I had to understand, like, hey, why am I doing all of this and it's not even being received? Like, when I can be giving it to myself. That's definitely one. And another one off the top of my head would be performing on the Bourbon Street circuit and doing 6, 7 45-minute sets, 5-hour shows, making $30 a set, only for the manager to tell me, oh, we need you to do more. And I'm like, I'm hoarse every day. I'm going home, can't talk. I can't record my own music because I'm exhausting myself for this gig, and they don't really appreciate what I'm giving. They think that they're paying me enough, and I'm going home with less than $300 after singing for 5 hours.
And don't talk about the smoke in the venues.
Like
The Most
it,
Bourbon Street Chronicle.
yeah. So I mean, I won't knock something that I will say it helped mold me
There's
because
pride on Bourbon Street.
it is. It's like hell. It's like the hellhole. And learning how to survive in hell, you really could do anything. If you could do that, then you could really go anywhere and do anything and sustain anything. But
Black
I
people.
really will myself now. Like, I really don't ever want to have to do that again.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would rather go and like do anything else, actually, unrelated to singing, just to preserve the gift, you know.
Yeah. Oh, hashtag preserve the
Serve
gift.
the gift.
Preserve the gift.
Ibaba bullshit. Shut
Serve
up.
the gift.
Shut up on a Honda, but about a Jeep.
And you did buy a Jeep.
Ew. Nigel?
Well, listening to the both of y'all talk about Bourbon Street, I have to say that, you know, you know, I've been looking at things through the lens of gratitude.
Mm.
I try as hard as I can to look at things now through the lens of gratitude. And I'm gonna be real transparent here too. I'm up since we in a safe place. I'm gonna get into some shit real quick.
Come on.
But I ain't never had to do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And and I look at myself and I look at my career,
Well, lucky you, you're
all
right.
the things that I'm grateful that I'm actually really, really grateful for. That when I was doing it, I was bitching and complaining about every fucking thing.
Hmm.
And that lead and it's great that I even started that way because it leads me to my come to Jesus moment. And this is as recent as a couple of years ago. I'm gonna start this prefacing the fact that I have been sober, Cali sober, for 2 years and 6 months. I want to say it's 6 months. I've stopped counting at this point because I'm where I need to be.
Ew,
So I'm
ew.
not, like I do what I need to do to get through the day. Because it's all one day at a time. But my come to Jesus moment was a couple of years ago when during the pandemic, I realized that I had a drug problem. Or better yet, I admitted to myself that I had a fucking problem. And it was starting to affect my home life,
Mm.
and it was starting to affect my business and my money. And my come to Jesus moment was the day that I decided that I was going to go to rehab. And I left for rehab, and my record came out. My last record came out while I was in rehab.
Mm.
And I guess the thing that really, really shook me was uh, I'm trying to think of a way to say it so that I don't sound like such a jerk. But I've had uh the red carpet rolled out to me. I've had the fucking I've had everything that I've ever asked for
Mm.
given to me on a silver platter. Blessings upon blessings upon blessings upon blessings. Now, I said I had a drug problem and I was drinking and drugging, but I was never the guy, let's be clear, that I was never the guy that woke up in the morning first thing and said, "Oh, I need to get some cocaine right now." I was never that guy. It was always circumstantial. And I was always in a place where I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it became sort of, connected.
A marriage of that.
A marriage of that. And just because that is married don't mean that I have to marry them things.
And you better speak. You better speak.
You know, Nick, a really good friend of mine, I ain't gonna say who, a
Yeah.
really good friend of mine, no, a, a really good friend of mine, I remember one time told me, and I think of all these things now that I'm sober. And I'm like, I remember I was gearing up to go. I was like, the gig was over, I had the money in my hand. I was gearing up to go. And she was like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to go out. You could just go home. And that's what goes back to when I first was talking about, having a band and having my own band together. And like there were times where I had some really special moments, but there were also times where I didn't really get to feel what I was supposed to feel at the time because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do for myself. And that comes, and I'm not going to be any more long-winded, but I am going to say that my come to Jesus moment was when I had to explain to my child, who is 21 now, why my record came out and why he couldn't get a hold of me for a whole month to congratulate me on something that he actually fucking listened to. He actually listened to the record, and wanted to tell me that there's a song on it. There's a song on that record that speaks of injustice and racial injustice in America. And he felt it, and I really got him. And that made me feel good. And that made me kind of see, like, okay, when you get out of here, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's been really helpful for me. And I'm constantly faced with that. I'm constantly faced with the reflection of those moments now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a good thing for me. It pisses me the fuck off
Mm-hmm.
that when I'm around people like that. But then I
Mm-hmm.
had to remember that it was one time where I was the head cracky.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's hard to deal with, but in order to get to it, you got to go through it.
I,
So
I like the fact that, and we've always said this since I've been coming on the show as a guest and then became a co-host. It's always been a safe space, right?
Yeah.
And it's always been a space where you can be your most vulnerable self and be your truthful self. Because again, truth and honesty are two different things.
right.
Honesty wavers, but truth is painful when you have to go through a process.
Yeah.
But truthful is also healing when you know you're seeing where you shouldn't be and where you are going, right?
Exactly.
And so for you to give your testimony,
Mhm.
it's needed to be heard because we often hear about artists who have achieved greatness and who fall, who have succumbed to drugs and alcohol and
Mhm.
their lives are no longer present. But
Mhm.
then and they can't tell their story. You're telling your story to help musicians understand that this industry is tough. It is hard. All of you are
And
telling your
these
story.
motherfuckers will drive you to
They will
drink.
drive. They will. They will,
They will
and
drive you to
they
smoke
will.
crack.
They will drive you, and they will.
I've never smoked crack, but
I don't mean to laugh, but that
that's
just
my
scared me,
knowledge.
brother.
listen. This is why I love Nigel. This is why.
And
Listen,
look,
this
when you
is
call me to be on the show, you better know that this gonna get real. So if you want people on
listen.
the show,
Andrew would laugh.
you know what I'm saying?
Andrew, it
Listen,
wasn't.
listen. But this is the part that we can laugh now today, right? Because there's some people who can't laugh,
Yeah.
right? But then
There's some
there's
people
also
who are
people who are still
dead
not telling.
in the dirt.
Thank you. And they're still not telling their truth. Like they're present and still not telling the truth. And I feel like
Mhm.
that's something that needs to be told. Before I jump into the second question, Jamila had a comment. She said, "In my experience, even at the lowest level, the music industry can be kind of predatory, exhausting, and thankless if you're trying to do it alone. What advice would you all give to those who aspire to get into the industry but don't have any mentors or anyone guiding and looking out for them?" So whoever want to take
Find
that,
one immediately. Find one immediately. Look, don't talk, say nothing to nobody. Look and pay attention to the people that are around you and make your decision as carefully as you possibly can.
Mm,
Because these motherfuckers is crazy.
mm-hmm,
They're crazy. They're crazy. And I'm
I
serious.
was
Y'all laughing, and I'm not laughing.
that.
I mean, I'm
mm-hmm,
being I mean, it's look, I'm like my man from the Mac. I'm laughing, but it ain't funny.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like these motherfuckers are like pimps waiting at the Greyhound.
Yeah.
I mean,
And they will,
we
and
still have to understand that we're still living in a capitalist society, and
Yep.
capitalism does not thrive
thank
without
you.
the exploitation of a certain people. And
Thank you.
so, you know, once you know that, and once you know and understand that, then you can, then the right mentor will literally show up.
Yeah.
Especially when you're talking about dealing with the industry. The
Yeah.
industry is the big monster,
It's the
and the reason why it's
machine.
the big monster is the machine.
Yeah.
And the main reason why it's a machine is because we've been led to believe that there is enough money to go around.
Yep.
So we're going to literally fight and pillage and all that stuff to get to
Rob
that.
Peter to pay Paul, cut,
Right.
kill, hurt each
Mhm,
other to get
mhm.
to it. It go
I
ahead,
mean,
Asada, because I see you
okay.
pondering. Go ahead.
Well, just like Andrew said, it's one of those things for me. I just attracted, it's like when I first got into the industry, I just sang and I just started meeting people along the way. And Tanya is one of the people that definitely came into my path, probably not as early as I would have wished. I wish I would have met Tanya earlier on, because Tanya really, when I was going into Idol, like I don't even think I was really fully grasping all of the things that you were telling me until after I came back home. And I was like, oh, Tanya said I was going to feel like
Mm.
this. Tanya said I was going to go through this. Tanya said,
What
so
would Tanya do? No, I'm just
yeah,
saying. Go ahead.
like I didn't, but as you know, I
WT.
didn't seek a mentor. A mentor was gifted to me, like just based upon what I was putting out into the atmosphere at that time. I was given that. And if you're a spiritual person and you're a believer in spirituality, God, whatever entity that might be, you have to kind of know that the right people will come into your space naturally without you having to seek it out. Because, like Nigel's saying, there's a lot of vultures out here. I came across some of those too, but I have such a protection over my life that that didn't really last.
Come
They
on.
couldn't really, it didn't stick. I didn't let
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think and
You used your power of discernment.
Mm.
Correct.
yeah. And that's the thing,
That's
Jamila.
all.
Like, feel free to reach out to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's music you want us to listen to, if there's something you're testing out, I'm gonna tell you now. You may not like me, but you're gonna get the truth. And the thing is, at the end of the day, you want the truth because there are several copies of what's going on in the industry today, and you could be
14.
just
It's
that
14 though.
one. It's
14 though.
14 of them, right? And you can you could be just that one with this talent and skill that no one has ever heard, and
Yeah.
you're afraid to fly. Listen, sweetheart, you've been in your cocoon long enough. It's time for you to fly. Either you're gonna stay in that sucker, it's gonna start to dry rot, or you're gonna fly. And so I feel the thing is, I agree with everything that Nigel, Drew, and Asada said. Look at the people in your circle right now, or look at the people in your square or oval, whatever shape you have. I don't have a circle.
Go
I'm
Deka
my
he.
own circle because I keep going like this,
Hello.
right? And so because I have to be careful of the people who are vultures.
Mhm.
And as Drew said, that power of discernment, as Asada said, you know when and who and what is going on. So feel free, send me, whatever on my social media at Tanya Boy Cannon. You want me to check something out? You have questions. All of us have answers for the industry because we've been in it. I know I've been in it almost over 20 years. And so I can give you whatever sound advice I know. You have over 25, 30 years, 40, if you combine us all with information. Chuck can even attest to this, coming from working in a administrative position to DJing part-time to now having his own business on as an entrepreneur doing his own thing. So Mac can talk about it. Like, Mac is in the mental health field, but he could talk about and attest to nonprofit work, how he's worked with artists. And he could talk about the artists who've had bad attitudes and those who are disrespectful, and then the ones who are so sweet that you don't mind giving them whatever because they will give you whatever. So it's so many stories that can be told from
Mhm.
all of us. But the question I want to ask, and this is for everyone to answer, and even if in the comment section, feel free to answer too, because we're talking about music in the mind, mental health, and creating. Nigel, you talked about having to go and find your peace to heal yourself. Drew,
Mhm.
you've talked about knowing when, where, what time it was to stop making $20. Assata, you had to make the decision and say, damn, this machine is really tough, right? So when you sit back and you think about all these things that mama told us and we say, oh, they just old, they don't know what they're talking about. And now we think about these things that we're in our we're in our older years as adults.
Mm.
What was
Boy,
that?
the
What was that?
realization, isn't it?
Listen, what
Look,
was that mental? What is that grounding method, ritual, spiritual piece thing that you do to make sure you stay on the path of persistence and consistence to be productive? What is that mental ritual for you all?
well, I'll if I can go first, I'll say that for me right now, I'm heavily into therapy. I I get crazy when I don't do it. When I'm gone too long and haven't been able to go. Like I love therapy.
Yes,
Therapy has
yes.
helped me a great deal, and it's still helping me because it's helping me show me I'm still fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the other thing is that usually if we have talent, you know, we can act like we all right, but we the craziest motherfuckers in the world in the first place. We the first people need fucking therapy.
Listen, we've been on the spectrum.
All right.
Okay. So for me, it's therapy number one. It's taking care of my mental health and talking to somebody who can help me process the shit that I have to deal with every time I leave this house. And y'all know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So um and aside from that, it's a little deeper for me because there's other things involved that I won't get into. But it's also something that I'm still trying to figure out. But I will say the thing that's consistent for me, um, when I'm home, I try to just be home. I'm not out, I'm not trying to do no gigs. I'm not trying to come hang out at a gig at 9:30, 12 o'clock at night. I ain't trying to do none of that. And if I'm active musically, I'm fortunate, thank the Lord, I'm fortunate to have a studio in my house or on my property.
I'm
Yeah.
coming. I'm
Where
coming.
well, yeah, you got to come by. I'm fortunate to have a studio on my property where I don't got to listen to nothing or nobody. I can shut that door and turn that recording light on,
Yeah.
and people know to leave me the fuck alone.
Get it in.
Um,
I love it.
and I could be in there recording. I'm fortunate to have all the pieces to whatever puzzle I'm trying to put together in
Mm-hmm.
that room. Everything from the books that I read on a regular basis, to some of the albums I like to listen to on a regular basis, to every piano I need, whatever is in there
You
is
have
going to
it.
fix the problem.
I
You
love
know, it's consistent. I can do that. But other than that, I'm still trying to figure out new, different ways to cope with certain things that I had to deal with when I'm out on the road.
Mm.
Because now that I'm seeing things clearly or in a more clearer state, uh, there are things that make me really angry.
Mm.
it. Mm.
And and um, I gotta try very hard because y'all know me. I
Yeah.
have to try. You know me, and Drew know me too. Okay,
Yeah.
and y'all know that I don't hold my tongue.
Nope.
I don't. Just like you said, I'm gonna tell you you're either gonna be mad at me. Or I'm gonna tell you the truth. And if you're mad, then you need to scratch your ass and get glad.
That's what Mama say. That's what
Okay,
Mama say.
because
That's
I'm
what.
listen. I was telling somebody earlier today that I am at the point in my life now where I'm not going to be an asshole to people because I know that what I do, what God has given me, the task that God has given me to do is a coveted and special task, and I take it very, very, very seriously.
Protect the gift. That's
And
what Assata
and
said.
and and I do that because I love what I do, and you are not gonna fuck it up for me.
That part.
I don't care who you are.
That part.
Okay. And it's
Don't mess with the church's money.
and I'm gonna close with this. I'm gonna close with this. If you've seen The Last Dance with Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, one of the greatest bands of all time, okay, when you see him talk, when Jordan says, "Look, I'm only gonna do this once," and he starts to talk about how the game makes him feel and what the place that he has to go to do what he got to do to win. And he started crying, and he said, "If you gonna fucking play, then you gonna then fucking play. Otherwise, get the fuck out of my face."
Yeah.
Because you were fucking it up for me. And you fucking it up for what God has put, you making it harder for me to do what God needs me to do. And it's more than just dunking a ball. And it's more than just putting a ball in a hole. It's displaying his power.
Yeah. It's mental. It's time.
Mental shit. And where he had to go to get there, I'm not just doing that shit for nothing. Right. Imagine that. Imagine the look. I don't know if y'all ever seen that picture, but he's guarding Magic, and he's just got this evil look in his eyes. Like, I wish you would come by here. I wish you would take another step.
I need to see that.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. I'm sorry, I'm done talking.
Assata.
Did you just hold up, Tanya? Did you just say that you hadn't watched The Last Dance?
No. I said I wanted to see the image.
Okay, all right.
You ain't taking this black card. I eat black eyed peas.
Hey,
I eat crowder peas. I eat field peas. I done shuck peas.
I know that's right.
I done cleaned the chicken. I done went out to the field and pulled that shit. You ain't pulled this black card. Listen, I'm Mississippi born, New Orleans raised. There's a difference. Go ahead. Go ahead, Drew. Who got next? Drew, Assata?
So to kind of put some input on what Nigel was saying, definitely, I feel like one of my biggest struggles actually is not being vocal enough in certain moments. And then I let it kind of like pile up, and then I'm too vocal.
Okay, you got a witness over here. This is what I'm talking about.
So I've been learning now to kind of start to release the feelings of being a people pleaser in every situation. Because I think for the longest, I'm like, I'm a great person. Everyone should receive me this way. And now I'm like, you know what? People are going to actually receive me the way they want to. So I can just go ahead and say what I feel and what I think and just be vocal about it, because not doing that is actually causing the anxiety.
Release the pressure.
It's causing the stress.
Get the fuck up out my face. Leave me the fuck alone.
That's one of my found outlets now, is actually being more vocal and finding that the people that love me the most, they actually need that from me. They don't need me to sit here and be like a yes man all the time. They actually need me to be who I am. They need me to speak my mind, because that could be the very thing to kind of help break something within them. And by me not doing that, I'm not only depriving myself, but I'm depriving them of what my gifts actually truly are.
Yeah.
So to answer the question, one of my outlets as a recent is to speak more, to talk more. And when I don't feel like I can do that, Meditation is definitely another one, because sometimes I feel like, okay, my vision might be a little tainted right now because my emotions are getting the best of me. Maybe I need to speak less and go into self more and reflect more, and then reemerge when I'm in a more logical space and not an emotional space.
Yes, I love it. Drew Bomb.
We definitely got a witness over here on that right there.
Hey.
Hey,
Yes,
man,
indeed. Yes,
real.
indeed. Of course, of course. Um, um, my wife has had one of her first tattoos, kind of like right here.
That's
For
my
something
boo.
that I've told,
Hey,
for
Maya.
something that I told her, for something that I told her to do on a regular basis when she would be, because she's a lot more high strung than I am. Um, a lot of people would always tell me, that, you know, the one thing that attracts them to me around me is that I've always been able to have this type of calm that, that people desire.
Hmm.
But I would just tell but I would tell my old lady all the time, just breathe, shut up, and it was just, whether it's text messaging, she going off about the day and or something like that, and breathe.
Take a
And
breath.
so, to just take a breath, it's like, you know, it's only when you take a breath then you realize that some of this 90% of this shit is not that serious.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, we kind of create this what's the word? This vision in our heads of how our lives are supposed to be. And in that we kind of know, well, we kind of pick out
Uh-oh, it's frozen.
I
every
think.
detail.
Damn. I'm a screenshot.
But we kind of like, you have to put, we try and put this in every little detail, put every detail in this little box and everything else. And the main thing that we leave out of the process is the osmosis itself.
Mm-hmm.
And so, being able to step back and just to breathe is been my ultimate go-to, because, I don't know how many times, people who I share my Apple Watch, stuff with, on the fitness, on the fitness level. All they see, all they see is 3 times a day, 3, 4 times a day, me doing meditation, breathing exercises. And it's basically just doing my breathing exercises.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because I know it's like, if I can get 10 minutes right here of just breathing, not letting anything bother me for 10 minutes, I can go back and I can deal with your situation,
Hmm.
a lot better. So that's been my whole thing. I think that's the whole, I mean, I think that's really the part of this whole spiritual thing that everybody kind of gets into, no matter what you want to call it. I just call it that because it's like, I believe I'm the manifestation, of the true and living God. And because of that, I have the answers.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of breaking everything down to its lowest common denominator and saying, okay, this shit is not, what you think it is.
I can attest to that because we were in rehearsal, or I can't remember. We were on tour somewhere, and I had just finished singing. Like, there's this one particular song on the show that we do that's, well, several of the songs are big energy for me, right? And when I finish the song, and I know when I open my eyes, it's almost as if I wasn't breathing throughout the entire performance of me singing. But once I open my eyes, I start breathing. Drew, and I look at Drew. Drew, it's like, breathe, and it's just like so calm. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, I've seen him in his heated moments.
I,
I've seen Assata her heated moment. I've
yeah,
seen Night. I've seen like everyone in their heated moments, and I feel like the minute I hear
Breathe.
breathe, T, you better breathe. You're not breathing. What's wrong with you? So it's that. And I have a couple I have a couple of more questions. I mean, like two more before we get out of here, because I really this is part one of Music in the
Nah,
Mind.
we in here all night.
Ew.
look, I didn't took my dose. We good.
We in
Ew.
here all night, boy. First lock
Listen,
in. We lock it
listen,
in.
listen. Let me tell
Yeah.
y'all something. I love the fact that when I reached out to you, Nigel, Drew, me and Drew, we were on tour when I asked Drew about the podcast. I text Nigel, I text Assata, and in the span of us talking, within 2 days, my husband was placed in the hospital. And so he has a rare disease called Conn's disease that I'm doing the research on now because epilepsy and sickle cell is prevalent in the Black community. And Conn's disease, I'm thinking, is another one that is rare too. I know it's rare, but I'm thinking it's finding its way in the Black communities because my husband's nephrologist was talking today, and she was saying that I asked her, did she know like the number percentage of one out of how many, and she didn't know. But then I asked her, she said her other patients were Black, which made me say, okay, let me do the research. And so today was one of those days. Praise God, he was released from the hospital today. He's home. He's been the same jovial self. Like the disease affects the potassium level in your blood pressure because it's an adrenal gland disorder, right? Dysfunctioning. And so we were laughing when I tell you he was joking with the people at the hospital, had them like busting out the seams laughing. One of his nurses was pregnant, almost making one to pee on herself. Like he was being his jovial self. It's just unfortunate that his body is doing something different. And so um, he went in Sunday night, and they moved him immediately to ICU. So those three letters
Mm.
triggered something in me that just had me out of it. I don't remember. Monday was a blur. Last night I came in, and as everyone know, I'm a new grandmother. My grandbaby's gonna call me Yeye, which is Yoruba is Igbo for grandmother. And she was crying because I feel like she's going through some things herself, like with just congestion. I mean, digestion issues, can't poop and all of that. You know what babies go through. And so my daughter's like, Mom, I don't know what to do. Her boyfriend, I don't know what to do. The son's getting ready to go back to college. So it's all these things that were happening, right? And something said just to lay still and yeah, just be still. And I was still. And I got up today, and I don't know how these sisters fell in my energy to let me know about the new moon in Leo. And I
Mhm.
just started doing research. So at 5:38 tomorrow, 5:38 a.m., whatever you're gonna be doing, set your intentions. But praise God, my husband's home. He's still his jovial self. I received a big hug today from him and another friend of mine, text messages and all these things. And the entire time, there was a moment in the hospital where it was just too much. I said, I turned Star Maker on by Roy Hargrove. And I just played and I sat still. And I cried, I cried, I cried. And I said, it's going to be okay. And then someone posted a video of Viola Davis talking about who she is. There's some days she feel like she's slaying the dragon, and sometimes the dragon is herself. And today was that day for me. And so I've been down the rabbit hole of suicide. I've been down the rabbit hole of attempts more than one. I've been down the rabbit hole of feeling like I wasn't worthy. All of these things, right? And it was always me going back to music. I remember after Katrina, even me and Drew was talking and getting some things together and we've written so many songs and recorded so much stuff. A lot of it was lost due to Katrina. But every time something went down, I went back to music. I always said my prayers, my
In the
altars,
spring.
huh? In the
In the
spring.
spring.
I like to, right? But I always went to my altar, which is right here to my left, and I'm looking at my grandmother, my grandfather, grandparents, my uncles, and family members, and I always go to them and just sit and commune with them, right? And I talk with God. And today was that day, and I said, okay, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be good. It's gonna be okay. And all the messages kept coming through of that. And so I said that for me, but I want to ask the question for you all. Um, what does like what does peace look like to you in your most solace time? I know you say Assata, you meditate. I know Nigel, you were saying just being at home. And some people are home, but they're not home, right? And I wanted to tap on that with you because mentally home, you could be at the job and your mind be like, bitch, I'm at home. I ain't you know what I'm saying? You
Which
know,
be most of the time.
Me,
right.
would you mind
Mine is on the other side.
this side of town?
Wait, no, Chuck, we ain't talking about that one, Chuck. Behave.
Hey,
But but Drew, like, what does home look like? What is peace? Look at home. What is
home.
peace? Peace. I know. When I think of home, I think of a place. See what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look.
Love
Look. I want to
overflowing.
be seen in green with green.
Green.
Would it
Be
be
caught
caught
dead
Be
red.
caught dead.
in the
Dead.
red? You
Come
know,
on,
Because if you are
man.
seen in green,
Don't play with me right now,
it
man.
means you got
listen.
mean bread.
Need bread.
So look, what does peace look like to you? Now I'm getting
Charge.
I gotta get a drink on that. I'm sorry.
Man, look, what
so
does peace look like for y'all,
And
man? What
that's
you
for
been
you
doing?
too, Chuck. That's for you, Mac.
so
In the
God,
comment
okay,
section,
yeah.
what does peace look like for you? Comment, everyone attending, all of our listeners, viewers, what does peace look like to you? Go ahead, guys.
Well, go ahead. All right, well, peace for me just kind of looks like, you know, whatever I am doing, I'm enjoying it.
yeah.
That basically is it. Because yeah, I'm in the same reason. I could. Mm, mm,
No, that's what he does when Drew is having a good time. He'll
Get
start
a
busting
robot.
up. Yeah.
but
In the middle,
so
wait, in Harlem, in the middle of the street, in the brownstone.
Yeah.
yeah,
Harmonies.
mice in the bill cracking up at you, yeah. Um, so no, it's just peace for me. It's just like in the moment, whatever I'm doing in the moment that is bringing me the joy and that type of thing. That is peace. A lot of times it's with me and the old lady just sitting on the couch, literally, and my heart rate is all the way down because I'm at peace.
Yeah.
Watching YouTube videos of cats cutting grass, like something like that. Just something. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Now you know what I'm talking about. There. So that's
Are we talking about little
cutting
cats,
grass,
the animal?
power washing, and washing
Hey,
cars.
man. Come on, bro.
Look,
Come on, man.
yeah, yeah, the old lady can tell you. The old lady can tell you that I'll do that all night long. That's yeah, solace. All right,
Our
all right, I'm gonna be quiet.
Instagram thread about to be legendary.
Assata, what does peace look like to you?
Peace for me is alignment. Like, if my spirit is disturbed and things are out of whack, that is not peace for me. So honestly, I do like being at home. I feel I feel where Nigel's coming from. I'm like, that must be the big Virgo energy because I am most at peace when this sounds so bad, but when nobody is bothering me, like when I don't have to be mom, when I don't have to be wife, when I can just be, and whatever that is, I could really just be sitting in the bed.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's peace to me.
You
When
and
everybody
Jamila,
leave me
you and
alone.
you and Jamila have something in common. She said, "Peace is not having to share my space, time, energy, thoughts, etc. with anybody I don't want to."
Yeah.
Y'all got that in common.
Yeah.
Doesn't get to happen that often when you live with, your
Mommy, what are you doing? Mommy, can I
like
see
she
your
got to come
phone?
home now. And I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, it's bedtime anyway.
Nigel, what does peace look like to you?
Um, well, like I said, peace is all right. I'm gonna be really honest. Um, I don't really think I can answer that question.
Mm.
And I say that because there are things that surround us all on a
Mm-hmm.
daily basis. that I I really need to fucking stop.
Mm.
And it's hard for me to even pinpoint what peace is outside of being outside of doing what I'm here to do. When I'm do when I'm creating, when God has given me something to, it's not even I don't even look at it as giving it to other people anymore. I look at it as God is giving me something. God is giving me something. Uh when I'm doing that, when I'm receiving something from God and I'm expounding on that, whether it be through my hands or my voice, that's the only piece I can think of. Because when that song is over, I'm back in hell.
Mm.
And
Wow.
uh uh it's either get to the that's my answer. I'm sorry. But
Okay.
that's where I am right now in my life. And that's not dark. That's not darkness.
No,
Real.
You
no.
know, that's real shit.
Yeah. It's real.
So Mac, I see you rubbing your hands. Can you talk to us about that from the mental health field? With what Nigel, Drew, and Assata just shared, and I want to pinpoint and start with Nigel about that. That's not darkness because we feel like when we voice certain things that I don't know what peace look like, people immediately think that we're crazy. Can you talk to that because I feel like that's healing.
Well, it's just like a lot of us use terms um, about freedom, but freedom is like one of those things in the eyes of the beholder. Like, what is free? What does freedom mean to you? There are textbook definitions of what peace is and what freedom is, but what does freedom and peace mean to you? And everybody is different. And like you say, for me, when he was speaking, I was saying, I would say, I wouldn't even say peace for me. I would say the pursuit of peace. You know, it's something that you're working on, trying to achieve at every time, every chance you get. You're trying to pursue it, and then it's in your peace. A lot of time, it's safety. What makes you feel safe? What do you feel safe to be you, and to put your guards down or put your stuff up? You know, um, and that could be home. It could be in a circle. Um, it could be wherever. You know what I'm saying? But depending on your different traumas and things you experience in life, peace looks different to you. You know, some people ain't don't feel peace until they can get in there and everything is locked up and shut down. Some
Mm-hmm.
folks don't feel peace until everybody's at the house. You know, as
Mm-hmm.
long as someone not at the house, you can't sleep. You on patrol. You on
Some people
guard.
feel peace when everybody's out their house.
Somebody feel peace when they are out.
The house
It's
is
it's
empty.
it's a different level of peace. But then you start to do a deeper dive, like what is peace for me, and why is this peaceful for me, right?
Right.
What is this thing that why does this make me feel better? You can sometimes you just we say ride the lightning bolt and enjoy the moment, or you can say why is this peaceful for me?
So
You know,
Mac, can I ask you a question? And
Mm,
again, it's from the professional of the mental health field. When that question is answered, right? The pursuit of peace, and this is the answer is given like everyone is giving it tonight. Um, Jamila said, peace is not having to share my space, right? And she said, these kids, Lord. So talking about just family. When you
mm,
do voice what your peace looks like,
mm.
a lot of time people I wouldn't say a lot of people, but some people are ridiculed for what their piece is. And Chuck, you put that comment in there, which is need to be said sometimes, right? But when we say these things, people often try to make others feel bad for what your piece looks like, right? So
Yeah.
can you just talk to us about staying and remaining peaceful in that space and ignoring the sounds that you may hear around, if that makes sense.
Well, I guess this is a Virgo trait. You got to have a certain level of fuck it, right? You got to have a certain level of fuck it where,
And that is
you
not a
know,
Virgo trait. That is not
oh, as he put his eye in the camera, hey, but it's a certain level of to the point where
that's
society,
maturity. That's maturity.
no, think about this. Society, especially in education in different realms, they target anything that fits outside the norm. If you below the norm or above the norm, you are a target,
Hmm.
right? Because you don't fit in. You decide to do something different. I use it as an example. I don't like to eat around folks, especially with COVID, right? After COVID. So I said, if you ever want to attract people, wait till there's a room full of people and go sit your ass over there by yourself. Someone is going to come over here where you are and ask you, why are you sitting over there by yourself? Anytime you do something that's different outside the norm from what everybody else is doing, someone is going to have something to say.
Hmm.
You know, I had this real life example. I like to stand as bad as my back is. I was at the school for my daughter, and the lady asked, to clear the office while I wait on to meet with the counselor. I'm standing against the wall. She said, "There's a chair here. Would you like to sit down?" I said, "No, ma'am, I'm fine." And she looked like, "Well, I don't. We just y'all worse than the children. We just trying to keep order." She got offended because I didn't want to sit down. Because everybody else she asked to have a seat, or actually they want to sit down, they sat down. I'm looking like this is some crazy shit, right? They really need some, but I did something outside of norm what everybody else did, and there was a problem,
Right,
you
right.
know. so people have
Chuck,
an
you
issue
crazy.
with whatever's outside of norm. What you say?
No, Chuck. Chuck crazy. He need to chill.
Hey man, hey,
Listen,
I'm
Nigel,
trying to
no,
listen.
no, no,
Because
Nigel,
hey,
Nigel.
I'm there with you.
Yes, y'all are.
I'm trying. I'm listen. I know what he's
Not
talking about.
Nigel, Nigel. Look, I don't know what your schedule like, but Chuck gonna give you some information. You need to come to Tougaloo's
Oh,
Founders Week in October.
yeah,
If you want to be in the Black Mecca, where your weird is welcome, come to Tougaloo for
Listen,
Founders Week.
I'm tr-
Cause
I'm
we
divert I'm
it's
diverting my flight to head to Jackson because I'm coming
it,
back on
and I will
the
come with
13th,
you.
the 14th.
yeah, because I'm telling you, if you want to see your judges, lawyers, and all your experts and professionals, just be like, "What is wrong?" That that is the place.
hold
That
on.
is the place. But go
I
ahead. What you gonna say?
I'm
But
finna, this is a sidebar, but keep talking.
yeah. So the thing about it is, I said you got to be comfortable with how people are gonna look at you when it's healthy for you. It doesn't matter what they think and what they feel. You got to make sure that's for you, right? Because everybody that ever made history was weird
Yeah.
or did something different, right? So you got to dare to do something different. All right, now Chuck gonna take us down the rabbit hole.
Listen, this is
man,
homecoming
listen.
last year at Tougaloo. Tougaloo Eagle Queen, we love thee. We're
Oh no,
graduates of
Eagles.
Tougaloo
I already know
College, and this was last year for the homecoming weekend.
that. Yeah,
I had just flew back
When
in
when
town
when
from
is this?
October
October
12th through the
12th,
15th.
October 10th through the 15th,
12th.
12th.
12th through the 15th. Hold on, let me see.
Check your schedule, man. Check your schedule.
Oh, how
Listen,
far is the drive?
like 2 hours.
From New Orleans?
Oh man, look.
For
Oh
me, it's like an
man,
hour and
look.
40 minutes. Like,
Yeah,
Oh man, we going. Okay, I'm here.
and then it
listen,
is.
I'm here.
listen.
I think I
Tonight,
can make a trip about
so one question, last question.
it.
What's on your streaming platform, in your car, in your headphones? What's playing right now? Go Asada.
Honestly, because of this bodyguard play, it's all Whitney Houston.
Whitney.
So
It is
really quick,
all Whitney.
tell everybody where they can get tickets for the Bodyguard, the
I want to
musical.
see that.
Yeah, so we have about 6 more dates. It's playing at the Jazz Market. Our next show is this Thursday.
I'm gonna be there.
And then next week, I believe we have next Thursday and Saturday. I don't know. Follow my Instagram because we have 6 more dates, and you can get the ticket by tapping the link in my bio on Instagram. But yeah, that's really all I've been listening to. Now today, Tanya, you spoke. I'm like, okay, I know it's not just me. I'm not crazy. I really been crying all throughout the day randomly today. Today has been just a day. So
The
I've
day's
been
been
listening
danced.
to Janae Aiko has this song. It's called Trigger Protection Mantra. And it's really
Mm.
like the singing bowls. And then she is just, with her little angelic voice, and it's really peaceful and calming. That's what I've been listening to today because
Trigger protection mantra.
mantra. Yes, it is very helpful for a day like today because I'm like, it got to be the energy in the atmosphere because I really woke up irritable and I was like, I need to do some prayer and some meditation because it was like everything. It could be like something that's turned crooked. Like, no, why is that crooked? Everything was like bothering me today.
That new moon is coming, baby. 5:38 tomorrow.
No, it's not just me then.
No, it's not.
Oh,
What
God.
song is playing right now, Nigel? What you got playing? Go.
I don't really listen. I'm working. Okay, I'm working on new music, so that's what's playing right now. And uh, yeah, there's a lot of Curtis Mayfield that's happening.
Okay.
Ooh,
There's a
So
lot
come
of
Little
on.
child running
there's a lot of
around.
there's a lot of Curtis Mayfield. There's a lot of Patrice Rushen.
Oh, give us a little sample, like 10 seconds of us singing. Go.
No, thank you.
Come on, Nigel.
No, no, thank you.
Damn.
Can't do it.
I was
Can't
gonna
do it.
come. Listen,
I
damn.
can't do it. I
I
can't
was
do it
trying to
today.
grab it. I was trying to grab it.
I love you to death. You know I do.
Drew, what you got playing?
All right, my wife told me to tell y'all that she's been listening to that Burner Boy Apple Music concert for the past couple of weeks. So yeah, I gotta throw that in there. She said she can't put the comments, so the comments, didn't put a comment in there. Anyways,
we can't understand you because you got like that trap internet.
She's
yeah.
on. She's been viewing
Huh?
this.
He got that Thaddeus Matthews internet.
She been watching that Burner Boy. She's on. This gotta be her 12th time watching. All right, Maya, I'm convinced you're watching it more for just creativity.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone.
That's all right,
Leave
Maya.
that alone.
I got you, boo.
Nope.
I got you.
Yeah. I'm out. All
right.
right. So in my playlist is one I'm doing a Phyllis Hyman tribute show with Nigel.
When are you doing that? And why am I not playing keyboards on that gig? Because I know every damn song from that shit.
My name is Andrew and I play trumpet. Okay.
My name is Andrew and I play trumpet.
Whenever somebody says, "Hey, I ain't no nigga," my name is Andrew and I play trumpet. But I've also done a deep dive into the early works of Dionne Warwick.
Who?
Dionne Warwick?
Dionne Warwick.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And what put me in was, I started to find out about all of the songs that he had originally sung and how of all of the other, how others came back and remade it and they made it hits. When it wasn't a hit for her, but it was just a hit for everybody else who kind of read those songs.
Yeah.
It's a real interesting thing because it's like I go back into her early works, House is Not a Home, Anyone Who Have a Heart, In the World, I need a bigger version. But like nobody knows Dionne Warwick's original version.
Right.
So so like it's just those type of things, and it's kind of like I really found it just helped me figure out how gifted of a singer she really is. She really was, in that regard. And so yeah, that's been my playlist, my little deep dive.
if I may, real quick, Andrew, there's a record that you should check out by her if you haven't checked it out already.
What's that?
It's called Track of the.
Hmm?
It's called Track of the Cat. It was released
Okay.
on the Janus label in 1974, and it was produced by Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff. So it's
Okay. All right.
imagine if Dion did a record in Philly. It's her Philly record.
Philly sound. All right.
It is the baddest. It is the baddest.
Can I just say it
fucking
opens
record.
with a Leo. It opens with a Leo.
It opens with the snarl of a tiger. It's a bad motherfucker. You need to check that one out.
I'm listening to it now. All right. Hey, Ashton.
What's up, baby?
Say hi.
Hi.
What have you been eating? A snowball? With my snowball at?
A ring pop.
A ring pop.
Girl,
Ring.
that sucker was some good.
Ooh, bringing me back.
Got all your tongue blue, girl.
I can't even eat stuff like that no more.
Ashton, get ready. We're starting back up with vocal workshops. I'm ready to hear your voice. Auditions are August 26th. Listen,
My birthday.
We know it's your birthday. I just want to put it out there, guys. If you
haven't celebrate my birthday for 6 months.
No, baby, I got 4.5.
I have 5 months.
I have a birthday season. There we go. Y'all already know, baby. Let's go.
My bad.
So look, on the Perula though, August 26th, we're doing auditions for a free vocal workshop here in New Orleans. I'm at 2 locations: the St. Bernard Center and the Morris Jeff Center on the West Bank with Nord and Jazz and Heritage. If you want to know more about it, I'll post it on my social media. Kids ages 8 to 18, free vocal workshop, live performances, and so much more. Ashton is one of our students, and she's been doing the program now, I think, 3 years.
Yeah.
So we're going on our 6th year. So yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there. I've enjoyed you guys for Music in the Mind. This is the first edition, volume 1. We're doing this again because we need to continue to have these conversations about how musicians find healing even through painful situations. And we've created some of the most amazing music. Marvin Gaye, Aretha Franklin, Dionne Warwick, Gregory Porter. We talked about some artists, UGK, Michael Jackson. We've talked about artists tonight who we know we've listened to or still are listening to and have experienced so much pain, but so much beauty through the sounds of music, melody, tones, and so much more. I think we've answered all the questions. Where can people find you? We already know Nigel Hall's at the Nigel Hall on IG, at the Fessa Bayham, DAPHESSAH Bayham on IG, at Assata Renay on IG. Y'all know where to find myself, DJ George Chuck, and Mr. Mac. Every Tuesday we're here 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Y'all gonna be here next week because y'all already know we got to put something on your head before you go to bed. And right now we're about to go somewhere. So Chuck, where we about to go?
The money, baby.
Wait.
One time for your mind, baby. We'll see y'all next week. Nightcap Knowledge every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. We're going to get to the money, baby. Shout out to the Mississippi Black Business Expo. Big announcement coming soon. HBCU versus everybody. You know what I'm talking about? Tougaloo to the world, blow, baby. We're going to get it how we live. Now, this weekend, we got a whole lot of stuff going on. Y'all check in, tap in, follow everybody. Make sure you subscribe to Nightcap Knowledge.
Oh.
Right, straight like that. All that in your mouth. We got this thing. Peace.
Ew.